back in the shop at the Piranha Boat. Welcome back to another episode of the Mojo H2O YouTube channel with the Piranha Boat. Now, I want to clear a few things up. My brother brought to my attention that we did that back screen there, this plexi panel on the last video, and I didn't let you guys know whether that worked or not. That worked beautifully. So I've been on the phone with Paul, who did all the body work on this thing, and he is coming next week, the end of next week, and we are going to attempt to build the framing for that, to have that done in glass. So in a perfect world, that'll be all sealed with glass framed in. We'll take it to our window guy in Pleasanton and have him custom make pieces of glass for these three triangles right here, and get that all done in glass, and that will solve that problem. And we may even take the piece of glass, because another one of my subscribers had some ideas that I'm actually pulling from, and try to get that piece of glass right there and get the Piranha logo put in it from the back looking this way, laser etched right there. It'd be kind of cool to have it laser etched into the glass. All right, I didn't show it on the last video, but we changed these springs to take out the center ones, which appear to be 2 to 3 pound springs. That dropped us to 5 pounds of pressure, boost pressure on both of the wastegates. We thought it was going to be more than that, but it turns out it's 5 pounds exactly. So this boat with this impeller setup, this motor on 5 pounds of boost will only do 62 miles an hour with 2 people, almost full of fuel, which is still pretty darn respectable, but in the big scheme of things, nowhere near where we're heading. We've had it to 72 with the springs in it, but that line was pinched off, so we were making more than that in boost. So I have gone and changed this outlet here. I've changed this to a 108, and to put that into perspective, my tables are getting full of crap again. I don't know how this happens. This is a 104, so this is what was in there. That is the opening space right here. This is a 106, and what's on there is a 108. So if you look at them stacked up, you can see the difference in the diameter is probably maybe a 1/16 of an inch, or maybe a tiny bit over a 1/16 of an inch. So we probably added an 1/8 of an inch around this, which would be what, a 1/4 of an inch more flow through the pump by changing that. That's kind of like a bit of a gear change, right? So we're going to create less back pressure on the pump, get more flow out because it's a bigger opening. You see where I'm going with this. So we're hoping with the 7 pound springs that plus that is going to get us a couple RPM. If it does, our goal is to try to get this thing to hit that 72 mile an hour range somewhere, maybe 75, somewhere in the below 10 pounds of boost at about 5,200 RPM. So then we can really start putting the coals to it. But right now we're putting 14 pounds of boost at 4,600 RPM. That's too low to be putting that much boost in this engine. Therefore, we may even, I hope we don't, but we may even have to get a hold of Southern Jet and get some different impellers. I think they've got a little bit too much bite for this thing, expecting that this motor is going to make horsepower down low, and it really doesn't come into its happy spot until about 52 to 5,500 RPM. So we haven't even achieved that yet, and we're already at 72 miles an hour. But we're putting too much boost in the engine to do that at that low RPM. So we need more RPM, less thrust, or freer thrust, if you will. And we're going to try to achieve that with nozzles, and if that won't do it, then we're going to have to go into the impellers, which I'm hoping we don't have to do, because that sounds expensive to me. But those are the changes we've made. Now we're putting those springs back in here. We're going to go back to that 7 pounds of boost, bigger nozzle. Hopefully we get that power back and we're just after a RPM change, right? So if we get more RPM, then we can have kind of a gauge to start factoring in what our next step is and so on, and start creeping up on the 80 mile an hour range, and then then get it to where we can put 20-25 pounds of boost into the thing and really push it up there. But we don't want to push it up there until we reach that 52 to 5500 RPM range with the motor and the pump and everything else before we start really putting the coals to it. So anyway, that is the game plan. We're going to get this thing back in the water, test it with the 7-pound springs, see if I'm correct with that, test it with the bigger nozzle, see if I'm correct with that. So we'll get it to the water. So the other thing we've got is our SS365 System 3 paddle wheels and the new Metal FX speed lock wheels. Putting those together for the Mojo car. Gonna do that today. I won't bore you with all that, but that's my project for today. And then back on the Piranha boat, hopefully this weekend, get her back in the water and see what the next test turns out. All right, as I mentioned, we've got the 108 Southern Jet nozzle. So across the opening here, this is going to be 108 millimeters. That's about 109 with this tape, so we're going to call that 108, right? What I plan on doing, because I have 3 of these, I'm going to take the 106, save it, and I'm going to take the 104 and I'm going to put it on the mill and mill it out to about 110 and see, just give myself some more options here. And it's a tapered edge, so I've got to mill it at a taper. I don't know if that shows up or not, but basically it's tapered out really nice and smooth. So we'll put it in the mill, see what we come up with. Okay, so now we are sitting at 110 right there. 110 millimeters. I'll sand it clean in here, get it a little more taper right in this area right here, right in there. And we'll have that one to test after the one we have in there, the 108. Alright, that should do that. Very nice. Nice blend. Yeah, feels good. Okay. Okay, so now you can see the comparison of the nozzle sizes when they're sitting on top of each other. Okay. And we'll just keep opening it up little by little. This was the 104. I ended up doing the 104 because I don't ever think we're going to be in that RPM range. Wanted to save the 106 just in case. So we've got a we've got a 106, a 108, which is on the boat, and now we have a 110, which we can make to 112, and so on and so on. We can take it all the way out to that right there, which is pretty darn big. I don't think we'll ever take it that far, but just take a little bit of pressure off the pump, and according to Southern Jet, this is going to give me about 150 RPM per step. So in theory, we should be going up, went from a 104 to 106, we should be going up about 300 RPM, and another three to four right here, which is going to get us closer into that sweet spot, 5200 RPM on the engine, which then we can put the coals to it. These are the wastegate springs. This is the spring that we just had in there. This one goes inside of here, and together we're determining that they make 7 pounds of boost. So this must be a 5, which is fairly thick. and then a 2-pound here. I don't know, boy, they kind of feel about the same, even though this one's taller. So this was only giving us 5 pounds of boost on the run on the last video. 5 pounds of boost equaled 62 miles an hour with a 104 nozzle, very small nozzle. Now we're going to go to the 5 pound plus the 2 or 3, not sure which one it is, but it's going to be equal 7 to 8 pounds. Definitely feels better. And we're going to put that in there with a 108 nozzle, from the 104 to the 108. And then we're going to take the 110. I got to restamp this. This is now 110 with us, and test it out and just see what our RPM is, and then we should be able to basically, like, it's like a gear change on the pump. All right, this prototype stuff, I'll tell you, found another problem, and this, nobody's ever done this before, so we knew there was going to be problems and gremlins were going to chase, but found another one, and it's right there on that wastegate right there. I'll pop up a picture here. Both of the wastegate lines have melted from the heat up there. I've got 2 fans up there, one in this corner and one right there, almost blowing right in front of the engine, and they're still just getting too hot. So we're going to get Justin out here and change all this to stainless and be done with this plastic line stuff. It'll work back here, but in reality, if it was all stainless, we never have to worry about it again. Heat won't be an issue, and it'll work correctly. So try to do that here Friday and get this thing back in the water Saturday. All right, we're back in the shop Friday morning. Ponch and I are pulling out the headers. We've got the one loose. I'm gonna pop it off of here and show you what we're doing. All right, we got the right side header off, and we are going to be doing a wrap like this. That's the plan. That is the plan of the day right there. Then we're going to follow it up with the high temp silicone paint, get it looking shiny, and use these badass clamps, get after it. Okay, there's our first header done, wrapped. And that is going to take a lot of the heat out of the engine compartment. So, pretty excited about that. Okay, header number 1, header number 2, complete. And the wastegate tubes, all wrapped, straps on them, both sides. Never done this before, but not a bad job, I think, if I say so myself. So now we will let these dry overnight and then paint them with this high temp silicone paint coating. I'm guessing that that's going to lock all those fibers all in, so it doesn't tend to try to fray or peel. I don't know. I've never done this before. Watched a little bit of YouTube video and then kind of took on our own pass with it, but a clean job if I do say so myself. On to the next project. Okay, headers are done. I don't know if you can see this, but that one's steaming. I'm basically drying it, superheating it with the heater here and drying it. Fogging up my lens here, but so that we can paint it and just get all the moisture out of it. I didn't video how we did this. There's 1,000 different ways you can YouTube it. These are the first ones that I've ever done, and I think they turned out pretty nice. Now here's where I've painted it, and hopefully it shows up different, but here's where it's been painted and here's where it hasn't been painted. The paint kind of locks in all the little fibers that were poking out. You see them, I mean, you just see there's thousands millions of them actually, poking out everywhere. But I kind of want to keep the look of the stainless clamps. I kind of like that look, so I'm going to try to stay away from these areas, put some tape around here or something, and try to keep all the clamps exposed. All right, we've got the headers in. Justin's pulling these lines apart, but you can see how badly this one's blown up right here. They're all just destroyed in the front. Header wrap turned out pretty nice, I think. Not bad.
Cooked.
Cooked. Oh yeah, that one's
Not
bad.
good.
I still got the fitting on it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
A little bit of heat.
Wow. Yeah, that ain't working. So we're putting all new line, all new fittings, stainless AN lines with the aluminum fittings.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Gonna show my fuck up, huh?
Did you fuck up, Justin? What?
Yeah. I had a plan change afterwards.
You know what though? I appreciate the dedication to perfection.
Yeah.
A lesser man would just fucking live with it.
Well, not for this thing.
No, nothing but the best.
A little bit there. Okay. Pretty good. Okay, we got bottoms of the wastegates plumbed.
One line in, 5 to go. So we're getting close here. We got the supply for the bottom of the wastegates completely done. Now he's going to do the blow-off valve, and we're missing a fitting for the top of the wastegates, but we're not running the Holley boost control here, so that's not going to matter for testing purposes. We'll just leave it open to atmosphere. We've got 7-pound springs in there, we believe, in each side, so that should give us 7 pounds of boost, controllable. And then once we're done with that testing, then we'll hook up the boost control, hook up the top of the wastegates, and start dialing in the boost control to increase boost. As I mentioned, we've got the new nozzle here, hoping to get up into that 50 to 5200 RPM with this program. The reason let me step out of the shop here. The reason I haven't nice and sunny, finally sun. The reason I didn't post on the last video top speed, I think I mentioned it in the video, but the last video was basically backing up to the basic lowest least amount of power this motor can make, and to see how it performed and allow us to basically start stepping up in increment, as I always say, crawl, walk, run. So we crawled like in eco mode. Still impressive, but still in eco mode. 5 pounds of boost and a very small nozzle, the 104 nozzle. Now we have that 108 in there, and we have the ability to go to a 110. So with 7 pounds of boost, now we'll go to a 108 nozzle. We've got the wastegates hard plumb now, so they're not going to melt. We've been having trouble with them melting. We've wrapped the headers, as you can see. We're doing everything we can to mitigate the heat that's in that engine compartment and leave no fail points, right? So, and again, I have that 110 nozzle I'm going to take with me. So we're going to go see what the 108 nozzle is going to do, and then with 7 pounds of boost, then we're going to see what the 110 nozzle does with 7 pounds of boost. And based on that, then we're going to hook up the Holley, plug it in. Basically, it's just unplugged the boost controller that goes through the Holley. Then we're going to go out and start pushing it using more boost and higher octane fuels and so on. So baby steps, just that crawl, walk, run. We're still crawling right now. I know everybody's excited to see what this thing is capable of doing, and I don't know what it's capable of doing. I think there's so many factors. This is a prototype, and prototyping takes a lot of testing and a lot of oh, I wish I would have done that, or I wish I would have done that. So the fact that we tried to go out and push it, and it didn't want to be pushed, and we had to back up to the beginning and find out where the beginning was, which was last weekend. And now this weekend, hopefully we'll get it in the water either later today. The sun is beautiful right now, or tomorrow before the playoff games. So anyway, that's where we're at. That's why we're not really showing speeds and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, once we get past that 70-mile-an-hour range, which we're at the 72 range, I'm not going to admit what this boat's capable of. As we keep increasing it, I'm not going to show you guys on the video what it's doing. So I'm sorry, but we're going to leave that to your imagination until it's time for Blake to come here, get in this boat, and really push it. And we'll have tuners here, we'll have safety, we'll have everything in place. And who knows, you know, the pump might be the limiting factor, the hull might be the limiting factor, the horsepower might be the limiting factor. We don't know. Nobody's ever done this before. So thanks for being here. Stick with us. We'll get back to work here. We got Megan's ride in here. You just got detailed, all ready for getting it ready for summer. Even though summer's a few months around the corner, just getting it all ready and cleaned up, and she'll be in the shop covered up until summer, ready to roll. Detail guy did a beautiful job. Looks like brand new. And get back to work on the Prana boat. All right, we're just about wrapped up here. All the lines are done up there except for the blow-offs on the top, which we're missing some fittings. So but we can still run the boat like that. They're just going to atmosphere anyway for now until we get the boost controller working. We've got our supply line, we've got this line here, we've got to make a new one, and we've got this loop, we've got to make a new one, and we're just missing some fittings. So we'll get those next week, but we are in theory we're good to test right now. So we'll get this thing in the water and see what she does. It is Sunday fun day. Well, it should have been Sunday fun day. Told you we'd be back out here if we didn't get it in the boat in the water yesterday, but unfortunately there's our weather. Completely overcast, and at the house completely fogged in. So this is not going to happen today, unfortunately. So maybe sometime during the week we'll be able to get her in the water. And yeah, she does. Gives you a good perspective of the size of the boat. That boat is not that much bigger than that boat, and they are both running the same windshield. So that windshield and that windshield are identical. You can see the width in the A-pillars here versus the width in the A-pillars here. So you're talking, I don't know, 4 inches, I think, in overall width, and 1 foot in length, and about 1,000 more horsepower. So I think I'll end this video right here, and we will pick up the next video. This boat will be in the water. It is ready to go in the water as we speak. So we'll start the next video, go into the water, and see how fast she goes.